This is Odin's Wolf Survival. I'm in the great forests of Kansas again. And my friend Nick Richardson of Greater Veterans, a charity for veterans, he's kind of like me. He likes to go check out survival goods and knife shows and different things along that line. Well, he was up there and found a Firestarter he happened to like. American made, sourced from the local area for the most part for the raw materials, except for, well, not the mag rod and the ferrocium rod, but the antler and everything else was from up in the area, and they're from Idaho. It's Montana Antler Craft West. I looked them up, hadn't heard of them down in this area. We're a little bit of ways. That's their card. Nick's card, Greater Veterans. Good guy. Does some good work. Might look into his charity. Okay. So what we got is a bit of antler, drilled, set up. Actually feels pretty good in the hand. Magnesium rod and a ferrocium rod. Milled together, glued, and a striker. And this is a little bit different than your typical bandsaw blade. If it is, they've worked it over pretty good. It's got nice sharp edges on it. Both sides are milled and feels like it's been rolled a bit. So we're gonna see what we got. Alright, now the trick to these are, with the magnesium it makes things much easier. You want to keep the magnesium up in a pile on a leaf if you can, or something like that, as you're doing it. Granted, with the breezes going on here in the great forests of Kansas, that can be a trick sometimes. But what you end up doing is you scrape off with your scraper a bit of magnesium, and then what I like to do is take your other tinder and kind of put around it, and then strike the ferro rod into the magnesium and get the magnesium to ignite. And that'll provide a lot more heat for a longer period of time than just what a spark from a ferro rod will usually run. Which is what you want when you have your leaf tinder that is somewhat crunchy. If this is all you got, leaves really suck for doing this stuff, but you can tell these aren't dry leaves. We're going to try them anyway. These are just what I've been picking up in the area. Okay, so you scrape. This is a pretty soft magnesium rod too. Comes off pretty good. Nice curls, you can see. Conditions aren't always the best. Do that again, that actually burned pretty good. I always say to scrape a big pile of it. If you're in desperate straits, yes. There you go. There goes some. See if I can get the rest of it going. Wet leaves don't usually burn for crap. Damp leaves, these weren't crunchy. So we're going to add some dry grass. And if you got some fat wood or birch bark or something like that, that'll really add to the ignitability of any fire. Okay. Put the striker back in there. There it goes. Add a little bit of grass to it. That'll help get your other tinder. Now you add sticks on top of it. Leaves are really poor because they generally tend to hold a lot of moisture. But sometimes if they're really, really crunchy, they'll work. It's not now this time of year here. And after a breeze, or after a good dew or something, forget it, because they'll soak it up like a sponge. But there you go, that ignited pretty good. And those little flares of magnesium, those little bits of magnesium you see in there, as the fire burns on it, will add a little more heat to the fire. Okay, around here, what we do have is inner bark from cedar. And this stuff is pretty good for around here. A lot of times you don't even need anything to get it going. Fray it out. There it is. Most of your fire making, these things will help a lot. None of them are magic. If you don't have your base done right with good materials, you're going to struggle. And in a bad situation, if you're struggling, you're not doing well. You know, just unlike today's youth, just because you think you deserve a fire doesn't mean God thinks you deserve a fire. You have to earn it. As you can see with the wrong tinder right off, I wouldn't have earned it. Not easily. I could have made that burn, but you're going to use up a lot of your resource trying to get it to happen. If you can look around a little bit better and find a little more resources, then off to the races you are. And once you got this, add and build. This is a nice fire starter. I would look it up online. It's $26, I think, online. I'll put a link in the description. And if you like these videos, like and subscribe, ring the bell so you can hear when the next one's coming out. I'm usually trying to put out 1 or 2 a week, so just to keep things interesting. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.